What is up, guys? So Jake Paul's alleged pay-per-view numbers came in and they are not looking good. All of this information about the pay-per-view buys are basically coming from a boxing insider by the name of Stephen Mulhausen. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. Stephen came out on December 23rd and said, sources have learned that Jake Paul vs. Tyron Woodley 2 bombed on cable/satellite pay-per-view. Numbers are below November's AEW Full Gear, which did under 65,000 buys on terrestrial TV. Streaming numbers are unknown. Some guy replied saying, completely believable. Add on digital buys, you're looking at around 100,000. The act is wearing thin, which is why he's begging for UFC for access to their stars they invested tens of millions in to cultivate. Stephen replied saying, that is a fair argument. Only other things that come to mind are, number one, no one wanted to see a rematch. Number two, that was the 6th combat sports pay-per-view in 6 weeks. 4 in boxing, 2 in UFC, with Crawford Porter, Tank Cruz, and Paul Woodley being overpriced. Way too many pay-per-views. Jorge Masvidal, who Jake Paul wants to box in the future, kind of said Jake Paul was bogus before any of this information even came out. He said this.
You can't fucking afford it. You understand? Me and all the names that you mentioned, you can't afford it. I know everybody what you pay. And you talk a big game, you say $50 million here, $100 million there. Bullshit. If that was the case, Mayweather would have took the fucking fight with your bitch ass. But he hasn't, because you don't generate that type of revenue. You're giving out free tickets. You got street teams giving out free tickets, man. Who the fuck are you selling dreams to? You can't afford me to come over. So let me tell you a little secret about me you didn't know. I fight for money or to fight the best in the world. You need it.
That video aged like a fine wine after these alleged Jake Paul pay-per-view numbers came out. And when Jorge Masvidal found out about them, he said this: female dog boy, can't afford the big boys. Never again do I want to hear my name associated with the fake. 305 day is coming, hashtag super necessary. But if you ask Jake Paul, he says that these numbers are fake. Jake Paul wrote on Twitter, the pay-per-view number rumors are BS. First fight with Willie, we sold 500,000. Numbers for this one are still rolling in, but still looking positive. Not my best business night, but remember, everyone wanted to see me versus Fury, and that's what we sold. Jake Paul also says shout out to Showtime for riding with me and all the fighters on the card, and Tyron for not being a female dog like most of these quote-unquote fighters are. And if these numbers are true, this is kind of scary for the Jake Paul brand, because his whole thing is, if you fight him, you're going to make a lot of money, and if he's not making a lot of money, then there's really no reason to fight him. And since we're talking about Jake Paul, why not talk about Logan Paul, who put something out on his Twitter not too long ago saying, this only ends one way, and it's called The Final Chapter. It's looking like a poster for him versus KSI. I know a lot of my subscribers probably could care less, but there you have it.